It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. This episode is sponsored by Two Cool T-Shirt Quilts. Go to twocooltshirtquilts.com/pretty lies and alibis and check out all the amazing products that they can make out of your old T-shirts. What's going on, everybody? We wanted to hop on and do a little afternoon update. It's Tuesday, September 28th. Just a few things have happened since we were with you last night. How are you, Froot Loop?
I'm good. I woke up to your text about them searching all night for Brian with the little little plane thing.
I couldn't sleep. So I just got a little curious. So I have that Flight Radar 24 app. And I just zoomed in on the little campground. There's a helicopter circling. So I was like, oh no, I know Fruit Loop's asleep, but in case she rolls over and looks at her phone, I'm going to show her. They did for a couple of hours. I was sitting there thinking, I really have to get up at 6 a.m. and it's now 1:30. So I should probably turn this off.
Yeah.
But nothing obviously was found. And then they were back again this morning. But let's real quick, after we finished up last night, Dog the Bounty Hunter gave a little interview and essentially said that Brian's mom, and we talked about this last night, that they had went camping a couple of times after Brian returned back from Florida after Gabby's murder. So there's a reporter on Twitter, and I've retweeted it. I did not write her name down. I think it's Jossie something. She confirmed today that Roberta, which is Brian's mom, is listed on that register in Fort DeSoto Park. She registered on September 6th and left September 8th. And this is the visit that Dog says they're on camera arriving with 3 people in the car, and they leave with 2 people. And they're listed as staying on the waterfront. So I think that's very interesting that they have confirmed that they were there. So the Laundrie family attorney issued a statement last night regarding these camping trips. And there was a reporter on Twitter, it was Jossie, who said, is it true the Laundries have been going to a campsite since Brian went missing? Do they typically go there? Where is it located? And it says, I can tell you the Laundries always go camping as evidenced by the camper in the driveway on display for all the world to see. Whether or not they went on a particular campsite on a particular day, I cannot tell you, and it is not worth the time, in my opinion. It's very defensive. So Fruit Loop had to step away for just a moment. And today, the same reporter reached back out and asked for clarification. And he said, I can confirm that Brian Laundrie was staying at home with his parents during those dates. The lawyer states the parents stayed at home during the dates in question when Roberta Laundrie checked him into the campground for 3 days. So then she asks, what does he think about Dog the Bounty Hunter being on this case? And he said, that dog doesn't know what he's talking about. The Laundries had reservations at the campground for September 1st to the 3rd. They canceled those reservations and did not go to that park during that weekend, although the dog says they did. They did go to that campground September 6th and 7th as a family, and they all left together despite the claims of others. The following weekend, Chris, Roberta, and Brian went to other places on 2 different dates, and the FBI is aware of this. So Brian obviously returned home after camping, and what that dog is spewing is nothing but baloney. That shot's fired, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he does know what he's talking about.
Look, I'm going to tell you this. We ain't heard nothing about this campground, and maybe the FBI knew. They're not going to tell us everything, every lead they've got that they followed up on. It's not like that dog necessarily discovered this, although maybe he did.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder, though, is this hurting the investigation where the FBI stays really tight-lipped on stuff because they want to protect what they're investigating? And then you have Dog who calls the cameras and is like, here's where they were. It's kind of maybe 50-50, at least for the public. We want the investigation to be smooth, but at the same time, you don't necessarily hate hearing details. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I like hearing them because it keeps hearsay and just rumors down.
Yeah.
But remember, they quit doing press conference. The police stopped all that when they started that search. Remember, because we talked about it. We said it may be because he's listening, or they're afraid he's listening, or whatever.
Could be. We don't know where he is or how far off the grid he actually is. The thing with me is watching the footage, and then I went online and found some videos overhead of that campground and then just some aerial pictures. I would have a hard time thinking if he started out there on the run that he's still there. It's really populated. There's a lot of camp spots. People canoe to these little islands all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would be super smart for him to stay there, but then you have to look, what would he do? I mean, is he going to canoe to Cuba? No.
I don't know.
Maybe a boat came and got him. I have no clue. I just kind of find it hard to believe that a bunch of people are going to jump in and risk charges and helping somebody who's on the run.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So
it'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Dog's team's been kind of quiet today from what I've seen. I've been really busy. I haven't really focused on what's coming out in the last few hours. But it's just interesting because you have Dog saying they were there, and then today, oh, there goes my alarm. And then a reporter confirms that Roberta did check in. So it's just a little piece of that puzzle.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So Gabby's parents had a presser today. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yep. So it was the 4 sets of parents. They all got tattoos. I thought this was cool. So they all got tattoos that Gabby designed. They all went together last night and got them. I think it says "Let It Be," and it's like a little wave. And then the other one that her mom and stepmom got it was that design that was on her arm.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really see it really good. But they said we wanted her home immediately, but we understand their position and we know she is safe with the police. They asked about the body being returned.
Mm-hmm.
But the tattoo thing was really cool. I think her dad got the leaf that she had on her finger.
Yeah.
He got that one.
It's really special that she designed it too. Because she had the "Let It Be" kind of on the back of her arm right there.
Yep.
And it's just a very sweet gesture. Obviously, it's a hard time for them. I think they seem to be really strong people. If you're following Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell with us, the kids' bodies were found in June of last year. And as far as we know, the FBI still has possession of their bodies because they're evidence. And it's hard to think of a human, but that kind of is the reason I think this DNA evidence that they went and got from the parents, I think Sunday?
Yeah.
Maybe has something to do with this since they have not released her body.
Yep. So you don't want them to have to, I mean, just like Tammy Daybell, they had to exhume the body. So you don't want to have to do that. They talked about and said they're very satisfied with the FBI and how they're handling the case. When asked about Brian's parents' lack of help, the Petito attorney, Richard Stafford, said the Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They are sure not going to help us find Brian. And then for Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in. Is what they're saying. And they were very pushing for all people, and we talked about this a little bit last night, I think, for all missing people to get the same help that they received. And they did say that this case has caused the police to go back and look at some more missing person stuff. So,
well, that's good. I mean, there's a lot of nasty when you're dealing with a case like this, but we always say that kind of stuck in there, you have a lot of beautiful that pokes its head out. Yeah. And good can come from tragedy. And if her legacy is that people are being helped, domestic violence awareness is becoming a topic we're more comfortable with talking about, then you have to look at the good, and maybe that's what she will be remembered for, as opposed to eventually we'll all think of her legacy as one of help and not one of tragedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great.
Yep. I do too. So there was some Josh Duggar stuff, right?
Oh yeah. So he was in court. There was a picture of him and Anna, his wife, who is very heavily pregnant. That baby's head's probably half hanging out at this point. She looks like she's ready to deliver. They were in court today, and 4 out of the 5 motions they brought before the judge were denied. And the only reason it wasn't 5 out of 5 is because the judge didn't rule on a 5th motion. So a judge denied the request to drop the charges against him. So he's going to stand trial. As of right now, I think November 5th is when that's scheduled. They also denied the motion to keep the photos of his hands out of the trial. If you remember, there was a big hoopla about that. He has a scar on his hand, and apparently some evidence that they've taken from his phone shows his hand. Scares me to think why this is so important to the prosecution. Yeah. And his lawyers argued that letting the pictures of his hands in would violate his 4th and 6th Amendment rights. The judge was like, yeah, we don't think that. It's coming in.
Evidence.
You're right. And they also denied a request to suppress statements that Josh made to federal agents during the investigation, and they denied the motion just to dismiss the charges or the indictment. So the 5th motion, this was to suppress evidence, hasn't been ruled on yet. They didn't say when it would be ruled on. So I'm ready to go to trial.
Okay. So when he was read his Miranda rights, you know, the part where it says anything you say can and use against you in court of law. Yeah.
He wasn't listening.
He must have missed that part.
Now, going back to the Laundrie, the attorney's statement that 3 people left that day, which contradicts what Dog is saying, that on camera you see 2 people leave. I mean, what are they going to say? Brian went night in the back seat?
No, he Houdini. He vanished.
Yeah. So
he used Chad's portal. He used Chad's portal. He ended up at home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. These cases all kind of merge in some weird way.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to hop on and try this out. This is going to be a regular thing from us, just to keep news current and out there, so we're not waiting a day or two. Hope you like it, and we will see you probably in the next day or so.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.